Welcome to ETHDam, to ETHDam, to ETHDam, to ETHDam, to ETHDam.
Hey, what's up, everyone? So, Joey, so my name is Joey Langenbrunner. I am the ambassador at large for the Free Republic of Liberland. While we wait for the presentation to come up, who here has heard about the Free Republic of Liberland before? Woo! Okay, so we have a few people. Do we have any citizens here? Okay, so we'll change that. So, got like a little short video for you guys. We'll see how it turns out. Well, maybe not. Hold on. Well, if not, we'll just go by. So, anyways, the Free Republic of Liberland is the world's freest country. We have a little over 1,000 citizens, but we've received over 700,000 requests to become a citizen. So what does that tell you? That tells you that there is high demand, but we cannot give citizenship out to everyone. You know, we want to make sure that if you're coming into our country that you have certain values, you have certain things, so we want to control that. So where is Liberland? What is Liberland? What the hell is Joey talking about here? So we know where Croatia is. We know where Serbia is. If you guys don't know where that is, please look at a map, especially us being here in Europe. When you had the fall of Yugoslavia, there was essentially a huge border dispute between Serbia and Croatia. It's a little bit long, a little bit complicated, but to cut the story short, there was some pockets of land that was not claimed by either Croatia or Serbia. So there was this piece of land that is called on the map Gornja Siga. It's actually this used to be part of the Austro-Hungarian name, so it's actually Hungarian. But essentially, this land was not claimed by either. So basically, what was going on was that Croatia was saying, "Hey, this land is Serbia's," and Serbia's was saying, "Hey, this land is Croatia's." So therefore, no one claimed it. So back in 2015, it was claimed as the Free Republic of Liberland, and this is right on the Danube River, which is an international waterway, so it goes right out to the Black Sea. And we got Liberty Island right here, and we got like Liberty Street and a few other things going on here. So Liberland is ideologically empowered by the philosophy of freedom. We're here at ETHDam because we believe in sovereignty, we believe in freedom. So not only does that apply to tech and blockchain, stuff like that, but how about our physical sovereign self, and then how can we tie that into blockchain? And I'll go into that here. So we want to maximize individual liberty. We know we're inspired by models such as Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Singapore. It was established on April 13th, 2015. April 13th is actually Thomas Jefferson's birthday. Now before we get into like the blockchain stuff, let's talk a little bit about what is a country, and then we'll go into that, more of like the tech stuff. So what is a country? We need a permanent population, which we have. We need a defined territory, which we showed the map, which we have, check. We have a government, check. It's all on the blockchain. Go into that soon. And then the capacity to enter into relations with other states, which me and along with other people, we have visited several different countries. Those one time back in 2022 where we went down to El Salvador and we met with President Bukele and stuff like that. We also talked to a Malay, president of Argentina as well. So we've talked to a few governments. We've recognized Somaliland, which is also trying to get their recognition. We're in talks with five or six other countries. We've also been recognized by 3 African nations, but that's not public yet. So we definitely clarified on that point. So let's get into the blockchain here. Let's get right into it. So I'm sure everyone here knows what a DAO is. Decentralized Autonomous Organization. Sometimes we'll joke and say that we're a DAG, Decentralized Autonomous Governance. There's another technical term for DAG, so this will look confusing, but we'll just call it a DAO from now on. So basically, when it comes to DAO, we want to actually put that into practice into what it comes to governing a nation. Okay, so for example, we hold elections on the blockchain every 3 months for members of Congress. Okay, And what does that mean? So citizens will delegate their political powers by LLM, which is our political token. Okay, so Liberland Merit, it's on some exchanges. And if you have more Liberland, more merits, then you have more influence. So you have more votes, which is pretty typical among most DAOs. And then Congress, if you get voted into Congress, then you have certain powers. So you can appoint, dismiss, the executive, propose, the budget spending, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Very similar to almost all DAOs out there. So it's kind of copy and paste of that model, but applying it towards an actual government and putting that in practice instead of, hey, we just have a DAO or this and that. So this is the latest members of Congress. Of course, you guys probably know who Justin Sun is. He became our prime minister. I always joke around with people that he took my seat because I was a member of Congress. And then when he became interested in Liberland, I was voted out and he was voted in. So I'm not a multi-billionaire, he is. So, so even our government has, some, anyways, let's not get into politics there. But anyways, he's been putting some money into it, and and I am glad to have him. So let's go into what is the Liberland Merit? How does that apply? How does it apply to freedom? And what do you mean voluntary taxes? So some of us, maybe not all, but we believe that taxation is theft. And only voluntary payments for services are good. So we want to basically do a government as a service, kind of like we have like the SaaS model, but government as a service. So we want to make sure that if you're paying into the system that you get something back. So basically, if you put money into the system, then you're essentially buying Liberland Merits, LLM, and then that's your governance token. Okay, pretty straightforward. So this is a little bit more of an incentive, like, hey, if I pay more in taxes, then I'm actually acquiring this a share in the country called Liberland Merit, and then I could use those shares to vote. So it's almost like corporate governance. So some people like that, some people don't. If you like that, put it in your application. If you don't like that, then you have the voluntary choice to choose something else, right? Because that's the whole point. So, and this is a good way to stop the ever-bloating of administration. So this is one thing that, some people won't like, some people are okay with it, but usually we want to at least make that transparent, right? So what is a Liberland Merit? It's your share in the country. It's a political token. As I was saying before, if you want to become a citizen, you need to have at least 5,000 Liberland merits, okay? So when the project started out, you needed at least 5,000. So you still need 5,000, and the price of it was $1. So basically, you need to contribute about $5,000, and you become a citizen. And or actually, what I did was when I got involved back in 2017, I didn't have $5,000 just to throw around, so I put in work, and then I earned my citizenship that way. So you can put in money if you have the money, but if you don't have the money, you can also give your time. So I gave my time. Very simple as like if you want to move to another country and you naturalize in 5 years, you put in the time. You paid your dues. So that's kind of what I did. Also, the Liberland Merit, what's another cool thing is that it's actually backed up by the land of Liberland as well. So there's also backing. So even more backing. It's a political token, and it's being backed by the land. You can vote in Congress. You can vote on, any like referendas. Can be unstaked like a regular share. So let me go into that. So let's say you have 5,000. You can actually unstake about 10% every single year, and then that's what we call welfare. But you need at least 5,000 to vote. You get it? And then when it comes to a little bit of tokenomics, I don't want to get into too much of it, but about 10% of the LLM supply is released quarterly each year. So we want to remove as much bureaucracy as possible. So when you have DAOs, things are extremely efficient, and we want to make that transparent as possible. So obviously, blockchain solves that. So we put everything in the blockchain, right? So blockchain-based identity verification is a key. Make possible working without further costly verification. So when it comes to your ID, passport, even like company registry, everything like that, it's all going to be on the blockchain and easy to access for everyone. So here's kind of what our dashboard beta looks like. So right now, if I wanted to vote for myself for Congress, which I do a lot, I will go here on this dashboard and I will vote for myself, okay? So you see manage your LLM and LLD. I haven't talked about LLD yet. LLD is the Liberland dollar. So we want to make the difference between the country's currency and the country's political power, right? Because the political power is staked. You stake it. But the dollar is going to be used to manage the company's finances, pay for certain things. You can use it as currency, but of course it's voluntary. But you can manage your portfolio on this dashboard. You can use it on a few dexes, and you can bridge it to Ethereum, Tron, Solana, and Sora so far. And of course, we'll have more to come. So elections, companies, and assets, you manage all through, your dashboard. So, how often when you have a government, you could just manage everything through a dashboard? It's like you have a few systems, especially Estonia, you can do some stuff, but this has everything on the dashboard. All right. Let's try to hurry this along. So this is us at the EU Parliament back in 2018 when we had a hearing. This is us at a Trump hotel. You can see the U.S. flag and the Trump flag. So we have a huge delegation. We have a lot of supporters all over the world. So if you want to become an E-resident, which is basically, I like to say, an upgraded version of the Estonian model, where you get the E-residency and you get set up, a company, you apply for the digital nomad visa. This one also acts as like that, but it can also be used as just a simple ID as well. So if you want to set up a company or register anything, you need to at least get the E-residency. If you want to become a citizen, then obviously you are entitled to a passport. Just like if you're a citizen of the US or Germany or the Netherlands, you're entitled to the passport. I have used the passport in some places, and I've also used the passport to get into some nightclubs too. If you want to read more, learn how to contribute, we got these QR codes here, and I was trying to hurry up because I know we don't have a lot of time, but I'm here for questioning, afterwards.
Thank you very much. A big round of applause, guys.